Moods are temporary, direction must be permanent. Most people don't realize how much of their life is being decided by how they feel in the moment. They wake up one day energized, hopeful, ready to take action, and they tell themselves this is the day everything changes. Then another day comes and the energy is gone. The enthusiasm is quiet, the confidence feels distant, and suddenly the plan that felt so important yesterday is postponed. Not because it wasn't valuable, but because the mood changed. This is where progress quietly breaks down. Moods are unstable by nature. They rise and fall based on sleep, conversations, weather, results, and even things completely outside your control. If your direction depends on something that changes hourly, then your life will always feel inconsistent. You will start many things but finish very few. You will feel busy yet unfulfilled. Direction, on the other hand, must be permanent. It must exist beyond emotion. It must stay intact even when you don't feel inspired, confident, or excited. Think about the people you admire most. They are not always in a good mood. They don't wake up every morning excited to do difficult work. What separates them is not emotional strength, but clarity of direction. They decided long ago where they are going, and they refuse to renegotiate that decision every time their feelings fluctuate. They understand something simple but powerful. Feelings are real, but they are not reliable. When you let moods lead, your goals become suggestions instead of commitments. Today you're disciplined, tomorrow you're distracted. Today you're focused, tomorrow you're tired. And slowly, without realizing it, your life begins to drift. Not because you chose the wrong direction, but because you didn't hold on to it firmly enough. A permanent direction acts like a compass. Even when the road is rough, even when visibility is low, it keeps you moving forward. This doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It means not allowing them to vote on decisions that shape your future. You can feel tired and still act. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can feel unmotivated and still keep your promises. When direction is clear, moods become background noise instead of steering wheels. And that shift alone can change everything. Discipline is a better partner than motivation. Motivation is exciting. It gives you energy, vision, and confidence. It makes starting feel easy. But motivation is unreliable. It shows up when conditions are perfect and disappears when things get uncomfortable. Discipline, however, is steady. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It operates on commitment, not emotion. And that is why discipline quietly builds the lives most people only dream about. Many people are waiting to feel ready before they act. They believe that once the motivation arrives, everything will fall into place. But readiness is a trap. If you wait until you feel ready, you will spend most of your life waiting. Discipline teaches a different lesson: act first, and the feelings will follow. Progress creates motivation far more often than motivation creates progress. Discipline is not harsh or punishing. It is self-respect in action. It is the ability to say, this matters enough to do even when it's uncomfortable. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. Every disciplined action is a quiet statement that your future is more important than your current mood. And those statements, repeated daily, shape your identity. When discipline becomes your partner, excuses lose their power. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, do I feel like it today? And start asking, what did I commit to? That shift removes emotional friction. The decision has already been made. The work simply follows. And over time, what once felt difficult becomes normal. Discipline also creates freedom, even though it feels restrictive at first. When you control your actions, your results improve. When your results improve, your confidence grows. When your confidence grows, your options expand. What looks like limitation in the beginning turns into independence later. The disciplined person is not trapped, they are prepared. Motivation may light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. And when discipline becomes part of who you are, your progress no longer depends on how you feel. It depends on who you have decided to be. Your future is built on ordinary days. Most people believe their future will change on some dramatic day, a breakthrough moment when everything suddenly clicks into place. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the big win, the surge of confidence that makes effort feel easy. But the truth is far quieter and far more powerful. Your future is being built on days that feel completely ordinary, days that don't get celebrated, days that don't feel important while you're living them. Ordinary days are where discipline is tested. These are the days when there is no excitement pushing you forward, no urgency forcing you to act. The routine feels repetitive, the progress feels invisible. You do the work and nothing seems to change, and yet, this is exactly where growth happens. Just like interest compounds in a bank account you rarely check, effort compounds in a life you continue to show up for. On ordinary days, you are making decisions that seem small but are quietly shaping your direction. choosing to work when no one is watching, choosing to learn when it would be easier to distract yourself, choosing to stay consistent even when results are delayed. These choices may not impress anyone today, but they will decide where you stand years from now. Success is rarely the result of one heroic moment. It is the result of thousands of unremarkable ones done faithfully. Many people quit not because the goal is too big, but because the days feel too small. They underestimate the power of repetition. They forget that anything valuable takes time to grow. When nothing feels exciting, that is often a sign that you are doing real work. The work that builds skill, strength, and character. The work that doesn't need applause to matter. If you can learn to respect ordinary days, you stop chasing emotional highs and start building real momentum. You understand that showing up consistently is more important than showing up dramatically. And once you stop demanding that every day feel meaningful, your life begins to change in ways you didn't expect. Plans protect you from emotional drift. Without a plan, emotions slowly take control. Not all at once, but quietly. One day you delay because you're tired. Another day you skip because you're distracted. Each decision feels harmless on its own. But over time, these small emotional choices pull you off course. This is emotional drift. You don't quit your goals intentionally. You simply stop moving toward them consistently. A plan is not about rigidity. It is about stability. It acts as an anchor when feelings shift. When you have a plan, you don't have to decide every day what matters. The decision has already been made. The plan reminds you of your priorities when your emotions try to rearrange them. It keeps you from overthinking, from negotiating, from letting temporary feelings create permanent delays. When emotions are high, a plan keeps you focused. When emotions are low, a plan keeps you moving. It removes uncertainty and replaces it with direction. Instead of asking yourself, what should I do today? You simply ask, what does the plan say? That simplicity is powerful. It saves energy. It reduces stress. It turns action into a habit rather than a struggle. People often resist plans because they believe plans limit freedom. In reality, the absence of a plan gives your emotions too much freedom, and unchecked emotions lead to inconsistency. A clear plan gives you structure, and structure creates reliability. When you know what you're supposed to do, even on hard days, you feel grounded. You are less likely to be swayed by boredom, fear, or distraction. A plan also provides clarity during moments of doubt. When progress feels slow and confidence fades, the plan becomes evidence that you are still moving forward. It reminds you that growth is a process, not an event. You don't need to feel inspired to follow a plan. You only need to respect the commitment you made to yourself. With a plan in place, emotions lose their power to derail you. They may still speak, but they no longer decide. And that quiet shift is often the difference between a life that drifts and a life that steadily moves forward. Consistency beats intensity every time. Most people fall in love with intensity. They admire the burst of effort, the long hours, the dramatic sacrifices. Intensity feels powerful because it is emotional. It makes you feel productive, important, and committed. But intensity is hard to sustain. It depends on energy, excitement, and favorable conditions. And when those conditions change, intensity fades. Consistency, on the other hand, does not depend on emotion. It depends on commitment. And that is why consistency quietly wins in the long run. Consistency is doing what matters even when it feels small. It is showing up on days when you feel average, distracted, or unsure. It is choosing steady progress over impressive effort. When you act consistently, you stop swinging between extremes of overwork and burnout. You create a rhythm your life can sustain, and that rhythm builds results without destroying your enthusiasm. Small actions done repeatedly shape habits. Habits shape identity. Identity shapes destiny. This is how real change happens. Not through dramatic transformations, but through repeated choices that align with your plan. When you commit to consistency, you stop asking for fast results and start building lasting ones. You begin to understand that progress is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Consistency also removes pressure. You no longer feel the need to make every day extraordinary. You simply need to make it faithful. That mindset creates peace. It allows you to grow without constant frustration. Over time, consistency builds trust with yourself. You know that no matter how you feel, you will show up. And that trust becomes a source of quiet confidence. Self-respect grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your inner foundation. Every promise you break weakens it. This is something few people talk about, yet it shapes how you see yourself more than anything else. Confidence is not something you gain from others. It is something you earn through repeated self-honesty. When you say you will do something and you follow through, you are teaching yourself that your word matters. Many people struggle not because they lack ability, because they lack self-trust. They have made too many promises they didn't keep. Over time, this creates doubt. They hesitate to set goals because they don't believe they will follow through. But this can change. Self-respect is rebuilt the same way it is lost, one decision at a time, one kept promise at a time. When you follow your plan instead of your mood, you are choosing integrity. You are saying, my future deserves consistency, not excuses. That choice creates strength. It creates pride, not loud pride, but the quiet kind that comes from knowing you are becoming dependable to yourself. And when you are dependable to yourself, you stop seeking validation from the outside. This is where everything comes together. You stop letting moods decide your actions. You stop waiting to feel ready. You stop needing intensity to prove commitment. You simply follow the plan day after day. And in doing so, you build a life that reflects discipline, clarity, and purpose. So remember, these feelings will change, circumstances will shift, and motivation will come and go. But if you follow your plans instead of your moods, you will always move forward. And one day you will look back and realize that the life you once hoped for was built quietly, steadily, and faithfully by the decisions you made when no one was watching.